Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for this opportunity to present a proposal to submit at this year's College of Business Summit. My name is Dr. Ashley Tennessee, and I am presenting this proposal on behalf of my co-presenters as well as myself, Dr. Lori Conklin, as well as Dr. Wade Roberts. The title of our breakout session will be How to Improve Live Sessions Using TED Talk Principles. And one of the things that we recognize is that live sessions for course instructors oftentimes can feel like this. You're sitting in the room and you're waiting for your students to show up, and oftentimes, unfortunately, no one does. And we recognize again that the likelihood or the likely culprit of students not showing up is because they imagine that this is what it's going to look like. They have been at work all day, they have competing life priorities, and the last thing that they want to do is come to a live session that's going to be anything but live. That is going to be very boring, it's not going to be very useful, and it's not going to be a good use of their time. One of the things that we know, and we would have to convey this to our students, the reality is our live sessions are often extremely productive. They're often highly engaging, and it's a perfect opportunity for students to really get the crux of what a course is all about, but also a perfect opportunity for them to network with other students that, had they not attended the live session, they would have very little opportunity to interact with those students. So recently, my co-presenters and I had the opportunity to witness Dr. Marie Norman delivering a TED Talk on how to improve academic lectures using TED Talk principles. And one of the things that Dr. Norman noted was the fact that lectures are actually very ineffective. Many students are less amenable to actually sitting and listening to a lecture where information is just basically being given to them. And also, too, research findings have documented that live lectures, unfortunately, has little impact on student learning. Again, we note Dr. Norman noted that performance is 6% higher with active learning, and also too, there's a failure rate of 1.5 times higher with lecture than active learning. So to this end, we recognize that live lectures in the WGU paradigm is analogous to our live sessions are analogous to live lectures. So one of the things that we want to do is that we want to figure out a way to incorporate these TED Talk principles in the development of our live lectures so that one thing we can do is to improve student attendance, but also we're truly interested in students learning. So we want students to leave live lectures and coming in with an unconscious incompetence and leaving with a conscious competence. So we are proposing the following agenda. We will provide examples of TED Talk principles, which is choosing an idea, how to develop a through line, establishing a connection with our audience, with our students, and we can do that through the mechanism of telling a story because we all know that stories are data with a soul and that we can connect with one another with our stories. And therefore, we want to make sure our stories resonate with the students, that they take those students back and tell other students the benefits of attending a live session. We also want to help our course instructors to understand how to develop a structure that's going to be amenable to students, that if they worked a long day and they've put in 8 or 10 hours, that they still will see the value in attending a live lecture. And then lastly, one of the key takeaways of the breakout session will be, as a group, we will brainstorm various marketing strategies to determine what's actually the thing, what's going to be the eye catcher in that flyer or in that email or in that announcement that we post in our classrooms that's going to want to incentivize students or even pique their curiosity to want to actually attend a live session. So with that being said, our audience for the breakout session, of course, is all of our course instructors. And at the end of this activity, we hopefully, our course instructors will be able to at least list all 5 of the TED Talk principles, provide an example of each TED Talk principle, also be able to discuss the importance of creativity and non-traditional strategies to improve live session attendance, and lastly, how do they develop or incorporate TED Talk principles in the development of our live sessions. We propose to do this through small group interaction. The presenters will provide introduction and overview of each principle, Presenters will discuss the importance of creative strategies to improve attendance. We will then divide the participants into small groups, and all participants will conduct an abbreviated deep dive to identify 5 titles for live sessions to intrigue students to attend and to develop that curiosity. Also, at the end, we will conclude by coming up with the group's discussion of their top 5 and hopefully have the opportunity to present these findings again during a College of Business all hands actual meeting. And we will end with commentary and questions and take feedback from the participants and discuss those things that worked well for the session, discuss those things that did not work well, and also just considering things, how do we continue to build upon this to ensure our students at WGU is definitely getting the biggest bang for their buck and that they're learning and we're preparing students to become viable contributors in the workforce. So I truly thank you for this opportunity on behalf of Dr. Conklin as well as Dr. Roberts. We thank you for this opportunity. If you have any questions as you review this presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And we look forward to a favorable decision from the committee. Thank you again for this opportunity.